Bumble, Hinge, Raya, Tinder, Fucktown, Plenty of Fish, Christian Mingle, eHarmony, Piss on Me, Badu, Field, Godfuck. What do all of these have in common? None of them could help Shane find the one. Boo! This week we are talking, but it's probably going to feel more like online hating than online dating. I thought of that off the top of my head just right now, and you're telling me I can't match with a doctor or professional rock climber because we don't have enough in common? Well, fuck you too, Coffee Meets Bagel.
With so much to unpack. There's a lot to unpack in that intro.
There's always a lot to unpack. This is No Accounting for Taste, and we'll be right back.
Hal, you're good with words. You know that, man?
I think the gym is dumb.
Did Rachel walk in the room? Of course I've eaten a Baconator.
Man, if you ain't doing CrossFit, you can get CrossFit.
You're right. A long burger's not the worst idea I've ever heard.
That's your sitcom right there as a Mr. Fix-It-All who just can't fix his heart.
We will not be defending Atlantic City.
No accounting for taste. If it's something that somebody loves, let's try and celebrate it instead of shitting on it. Oh, and thank you very much to our sponsor, Factor. You guys looking for some good, ready-to-eat meals for a nice, sunny, active day? Factor's got your back. They are #1 ready-to-eat meal kit, and they got nutritious, and it's good for you, and you'll love it. And get a load of this. If you go to factormeals.com/NAFT50, you're going to get 50% off. Use code NAFT50. That's NAFT50 at factormeals.com/NAFT50. All right. We're in it, baby. Shane Torres.
What's up, pal? How are you?
Actively searching for love.
In all the wrong places.
Through that series of tubes. You described the internet as a series of tubes? Some politician.
Who's someone
as a politician, well, what's the internet? He's like, the internet's like a series of tubes that send the information. He got it confused with, I think, the drive-through bank.
Really?
This was years ago, yeah.
Oh, okay. It was before the information superhighway was
before
super or a highway.
Yeah. But what's Shane, I'm online dating. I didn't mess with it. I think I had what was the OG one? Was it OK Cupid?
I think that was like,
no, there was some before that.
Probably Match or something like that.
It was like, no.
But those are like websites that turned into apps, and now it's just like apps.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's been so long I've used the website. I've never had an app.
Yeah. I did. Yeah. So you used the website for a second or no? A website?
I think I was on OK Cupid was the one I was on for a minute there.
Yeah. It didn't take. No luck.
I just couldn't put anything sincere in the bio.
It's a very
being a maniac, and then if somebody likes me for being a maniac, but then they're a maniac too. I'm like,
there is
none of this works out.
There is a mirror that is that a dating app can hold up to someone. you're like, oh, these are all my problems too.
Yeah. What makes this woman think she had a shot with me? Oh,
yeah.
I do not envy anybody.
It's not a world I enjoy.
How many dates do you go on from your dating apps?
I've been on like 3. I will say I have been on them, and I am currently on them, I guess, but I have the apps, but I'm not active. They're just on my phone.
You're not swiping.
No, because I fucking, man, they're outside of just making you feel bad if it's not going well, they are a tremendous time suck. It's like social media, it's it's just meandering through bullshit, and it's it really it fucking sucks. And I've had a couple good experiences and some fucking nightmares.
All right, well, we're trying to defend them.
Well, I went on a couple of dates with this one gal, and it didn't work out. Shocker.
Okay,
but we're still friendly. She's comes out to comedy sometimes, and she's like, "You're great." She actually, the first time she saw me was when I opened for you at Caroline's.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. And she was like, I saw you open for Kyle. I know who you are. And I was like, well, thanks. Here we go. And then we had pizza.
That's the attitude you should have if you want him to
I
work.
tried. She's nice.
Listen. I like I said. I think I went. Did I tell a story before? I went on a Craigslist date. I remember I used to use the Craigslist personals because I'm 1,000 years old.
Man.
And I went out with a gal that was a real disaster. And then I wound up at Cantor's Deli in Los Angeles. And she was foul. And she
what was tell me about this.
I don't remember. I think my memory is making her even more horrible because this is what cinched it for me. Clinched it? Whatever. We're sitting there at Cantor's Deli, late night spot. We're eating. And I hear this voice behind me in a booth. And I'm like, I know that voice. And then this gal goes, oh, you're not going to believe who's sitting behind you. It's that guy from that stupid band. And it was CeCe DeVille from Poison. And I was like, excuse me? I'll just pay for this. Don't worry. And I remember there's something specific too. Also, like she didn't eat her pickle or something. I was like, you're not gonna eat the pickle? Get out of my life forever.
Girl sounds perfect. Like I don't know. This woman sounds like
That's all I needed to know. You didn't see the joy in spotting CeCe DeVille, and you don't want to eat a deli pickle? A Jewish deli pickle?
I love a pickle. I love a pickle. Not gonna get any argument out of me there.
Yeah, exactly.
God damn.
Yeah, she's a drag, man.
Well,
I think she smoked menthols too. Trash.
Trash.
You're trash.
Or kiss somebody who's smoking a bunch of Newports.
Take your Salems and take a hike. I don't remember anything else about online. It was still like, sit down at your office chair and log into your dating application and run your analytics. I don't know about it. So Shane, this is on you, buddy. I want to hear these stories.
Be sedentary and then get ready to date. Like, you know what really gets you all horned up is reading text from strangers for 4 hours at a desk, trying not to be alone. Man,
what's your opening line?
Yeah, how do you flirt?
Yeah, what do you start?
You want
with?
me to just read one of my profiles?
Yes, I do. 100%.
I would like to hear the song that you sang to court a young lady, but you're not going to do that. So let's read one of your
first
profiles. Let's read. Yeah, tell us what your profile says. What it says. Is it funny? Is it straightforward?
Yeah, I go funny, but one of the things
we'll be the judge of that.
Oh, you suck. You fucking suck, bro.
We're being helpful. I would call it helpful.
Yeah.
Let's see. This one is not good.
What are we on here? Which one? What's Hinge?
Hinge. Let's go to Hinge. I don't want to give you.
Well, what is it?
ammo.
You got to tell me what these are.
They're all.
No, Hinge is the one for professionals.
Oh, is it?
That's what it's supposed to be. Yeah.
Well, then it's fucking dumb. Because it's. Let's go to my Hinge. So sometimes it'll be like, I do have 2 likes, so I guess that's new.
See? Now you feel better.
Yeah.
Sometimes it'll be like, they'll be like, tell me an interesting fact I might not know. Like there's something like, and then I'll write something like, as a joke, like, did you know if you fart with your headphones in, no one can hear it?
It's pretty good.
Thank you.
Really?
Well, because girls are looking for humor, and there's nothing funnier than farts. Tell me I'm wrong. But I would say for girls, the number one thing that you're looking for is somebody who's funny. And that's not the same for dudes.
I think that's true, but it also definitely depends on the app. Because like some people are fairly app specific, but like if Hinge is for professionals, that's one thing. But there's Field, which is a goddamn Pandora's box of sexual deviance.
Oh, that's just pure horniness.
Yeah, and I accidentally got on there. I didn't know it was a fuck app.
Oh, it
Yeah, so-
definitely
Fuck
is.
apps.
I mean, they are.
Field
yeah.
Field is the fuck app. Like, what is it, like Grinder for?
Yeah, it's like
Yes.
but
Yeah.
everyone, and it's just always just like it's always people who are like,
Field, the dating app for open-minded individuals. That's a fuck app.
Mm-hmm.
there's a remarkable amount of abbreviations that I don't understand. It's like fucking airport codes coming at me or something, like. and then I get denied, and it's like I don't know. Some of these people look like freaks, but I will say I can't remember what app I was on. This is my nightmare story. I swiped right on somebody, and they messaged me right away. And this is one of the ones where it was like we matched, and it's one of the ones where like ladies initiate.
Oh, okay.
Bumble.
Yeah, might have been Bumble. Maybe it's I don't know which one it was. And she was like, "Hey," and I was like, "Oh, hi, nice, cool. Guess you must have been on your phone too." And she was like, "Yeah, kind of, whatever." And I was like, "All right."
Okay.
And then we were messaging a bit, but it was kind of a struggle. But I was pretty lonely, so I was kind of like, "Shut up, Kyle." It was years ago. It was years ago.
Tell the story.
I've been in several unsuccessful relationships since then.
We know.
But we were messaging and it was like fine. It was going all right, but not. I wasn't like revved up for it. It wasn't really like that going that well. Like it wasn't like, oh, she's funny. She gets, and then she goes, one day she messages me. She goes, "Hey, I'm in your neighborhood." And I was like, "How do you know where I live?" And then she was like, "Oh, you said something once." And I was like, "I don't think I did." But somehow she managed to decipher that she was in my neighborhood. And I was like, "Oh, I'm actually at this place having coffee." And she goes, "Oh, I'll come join you." And she wasn't invited. I just, but
she's being proactive.
Yeah, well, a little too proactive because we were sitting down. I was like, "Hey, it's nice to meet you in person," and her leg was bleeding.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Okay. Why?
And I'm getting there.
Okay.
And she was like, there was no like, it wasn't misled. She looked exactly like her pictures and stuff. Like she was cute. And I go, "Oh, your leg's bleeding." I was like, "What happened?" She goes, "Oh, I had a scab, so I picked it." And then she just ran her finger up her leg and put her blood in her mouth. We dated for 6 years.
And then we made out.
She is outside of your apartment right now. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
what about her if who could have done that gesture and it would have been hot? Is there any context where somebody being that much of a
I don't know if I would have. I don't know if it would have been hot, but there's probably someone out there where I would have been like, "I'm gonna let this go," but it is a warning sign.
Well, yeah, it's like that whole manic pixie dream girl thing where like, oh, everybody loved Amelie. I'm like Amelie. I'm like, no, you're a fucking basket case, and I need you to get as far away from my life as possible. I don't want figurines made out of bottle caps, you fucking freak. Go. So there was a period where it's like aren't I the quirkiest? No, you're just fucking weird and you're bugging me out. Stop being weird.
Yeah, I remember she like kept sending me pictures. Like she'd send me like some nudes, and then she'd also be like, she was like an art student. She goes, "Also, here's a giant bucket of honey filled with flies." I'm like, what is going on here? Like just weird shit.
Was she homeschooled?
What?
Was she homeschooled?
Home art schooled.
She sounds like a homeschool kid.
I didn't fucking
went to public school. I did home college though. I did do home college. I gave myself a master's degree.
In what?
Whatever I want. What do you want to know?
I was like the weird thing with homeschool kids is always like I'd go over to their house because I had a couple friends that were homeschooled in my neighborhood, and they would just have these giant, very official like manuscripts that said like "State of Texas Public Education."
Oh yeah, you need to know this.
Yeah, and it's just like, whew, man. I feel like for a lot of people, it's like they're just opposed to paying taxes or something, and they're just trying not to do it somehow.
This is not on topic, but the homeschool, we're like sitting there and talk about like how homeschool is like such a weird choice for parents to do, but then you look at what public education is like, and you're like, maybe it's easy to make fun of the homeschooling, but maybe like, I don't know, they probably won't get shot in the garage.
Well,
unless they find one of the many guns that are absolutely hidden around a homeschool household.
Yeah, no shit. They're wandering the property and they fall into the well when they should have been at the kitchen table doing arithmetic.
Yeah. But back to this. So we're dating, Shane. We're dating online. It's new.
Yeah, it's like
new century.
I think there must be some people who have like had great experiences with it,
There's people that are married because of it, sure.
Yeah, and I just didn't. I mean, I've not had great luck on it. That being said, I have like I'm not trying to put one of my bits in here, but like I find them to be a tremendous time suck, and so the effort I put into them is not great. Like meaning like I put in the pictures and I say, like I'll say hi or someone if we match or whatever, but I'm not dying to just like message and text on this fucking thing. Like it's I want to, because it's still like I know everyone's putting their best foot forward when they're dating in the beginning, but online it even feels a little more false to me for some reason. Because like if I meet a woman in a bar and she's like, "Oh, I usually don't drink too much," and I'm like, "Well, you are tonight, and that's cool,"
it seems very unromantic.
Yeah, and there's chemistry in person. You still need that.
Which is, I mean, and we'll get to the good and the bad. Yeah, I have no personal experience. I got nothing, so I don't have any. I can't dip in. No, Rachel and I have been together for like 9 years. And then before that, I was just kind of partying.
Meet people.
I wasn't trying to date.
Yeah, you meet people how you meet them.
And it was just I was out doing shows and everything, and I wasn't.
I get it. Yeah,
trying to like meet somebody.
My experiences with it have not been horrible. I mean, some of them have been weird, but not like I never felt unsafe.
Is it better off that it's there? Yeah. Is it better off that it's out there in the world?
I would say so. And
okay.
Yeah. And I've also matched with people who have been, they'll be like, "Hey," and I'll be like, "Hi, how are you?" And then I just kind of will be like, "I'm not into this," and I just like kind of get off the app for a while, and then I'll come back on the app and there'll be messages from like, "Well, what happened to you?" Like they're just like me, like, and it's not like I don't reach out to them like months later. There's just like a slew of angry messages. Like,
what's the worst experience you had with online dating?
I mean, the blood drinker was pretty.
Blood drinker, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty gnarly.
Mild vampire.
It's always, I don't know, for some reason, it also feels awkward. I went on another date I forgot about. We just walked around for a while and had like coffee and did this kind of thing. And that was weird. I remember I went on this date with this gal, and she was from my hometown, but it was here in New York. Yeah. And and I was like, "Oh, tell me about your family." And her father ran one of the funeral homes in Fort Worth. And I was like, "Oh, which one?" She goes, "Oh, that one off White Settlement." I was like, "Greenwood?" And she goes, "Yeah, that's my dad's funeral home. He runs it." And I was like, "Oh." And she goes, "Have you been there?" And I was like, "Oh, like a bunch." And then she wanted to like keep going out, but I was like, I don't like this at all. I don't know why, but
that's what stood. Was she nice?
She was all right, but I wasn't like, she was nice, but it wasn't like overly into it, you know. And it
Not
she
you've
didn't seem
seen
to be-
both of my parents' corpses. Nice.
Yes. Well.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Maybe my worst experience about online dating is this podcast.
I've been on 1,000 online dates.
Give us some. Tell us.
Best and worst, Charlene.
Okay. The worst one. Oh, the worst. That's a tough. There's a lot of worst ones. One time, you know that compound, that religious compound that's on the outskirts of Portland. That's all those like tiny cabins. It's like out past 82nd.
I vaguely
That up
remember
right
something
now.
about.
Well,
Kyle's got
Go
something
on.
to do tonight.
well, I went on a date with a
I got
guy.
a show there.
These guys are
later.
your new neighbors.
I went on a date with a guy.
The
and then-
Rajneeshis?
I don't know what it is. It's just I just knew it was a religious compound. I guess it could have been. They're the ones that tried to poison the city, right?
That's the Rajneeshis.
Yeah.
Big Muddy Ranch?
I'm not going to know the name
okay,
of it
sorry,
because
go
it's
on,
just
no.
that religious compound that you drive
All
past out in the middle of nowhere. So I got on a date with them and we're at like Holman's or something. And then
I was probably tending bar.
and then afterwards he's like, you want to go back to my place? I live just around the corner. And I'm like, sure. And so we go back to his place and
you
it is
little dirt
not
dog.
around the corner. It is across the street from this religious compound. And I was like, what's going on over there? And he was like, oh, there's a lot of people they're really nice. Sometimes I go hang out with them. And I'm like, this is a bad idea. I shouldn't be in this house. And then he had a mural that he had painted on the wall that was like mushrooms and Cocapelli people and all of this stuff. And then when we go into the bedroom, he plays me his dubstep music for the next 3 hours.
Ooh.
To be fair, Charlene,
Yeah.
most of this sounds like pretty normal early 2000s Portland stuff. like none of this is so far out of bounds for that city at that time. Did you have sex with him?
Yeah.
There you go.
And then
That's my girl.
After we finished, he immediately got up and went to the bathroom, which was right by the bed, and then threw up for the next hour. And I was like, oh. And this was like before Lyft and stuff, so you couldn't just call a Lyft and get home. And you know, cabs
You had
in
to call
Portland were
Radio Cab.
but they're non-existent. They don't come. And so I'm waiting out on the street for like 2 hours waiting for this cab because this dubstep DJ puked next to my head. So it's
That
fun.
was the best one?
I don't know. One time this was when it was Mercury. It was basically Craigslist dating, but it was Mercury like had an online dating portal.
I remember this.
And I think it
Remember when
got
they used to
bought.
do I Anonymous?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, that's
like
what it-
Miss, was it called Misconnection?
Misconnections. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
There's just the most desperate thing in the world.
so I had just gotten divorced.
Craigslist, yeah.
And I decided to get on this online dating thing. And I matched up with a guy and he was like, you want to go out? And I was like, sure. Because it was the first person who'd asked me out in like 10 years, you know?
Yeah, of course.
And so he's like, okay, let's meet at my house or my apartment. And I was like, I don't know. That doesn't sound like a great idea. He was like, no, it'll be fun. Me and a bunch of friends are going karaokeing. We'll just all meet here and go. And I was like, well, if all of your friends are coming, I'll bring my friend too. So I bring Trish, the dish. And we show up to his house.
Trish
and
the dish.
Trish the dish.
Delish.
And none of his friends are there. And I'm like, we're going to be murdered. And on the coffee table, like spread out delicately, was just every porn magazine that you could imagine. There was like the Fat One, the Hustler, like every single porn mag just spread out. And he goes, do you want a drink? And we're like, yes. And then Trish, the dish, is like, yes. So that's 2 yeses. And he brings out a bottle of wine and 1 glass. And we're like, I don't know. Oh, and on the television was that Tom Hanks movie, Bachelors? What is Bachelor Party?
Bachelor
Yeah.
Party.
That's what's on the whole time. So then his friends finally show up, and they're really awesome. And so I'm like, okay, let's just go karaoke, I guess. So we go over there, and I drive me and Trish and the dude, and we go to what's that? The place where Bree used to host, Boiler Room or whatever. We go karaoke, and I shut the door, and as soon as I shut the door, I realize I've locked my phone and my keys and my wallet in the car. And I turn around to get Trish to help me get back in the car, and she is nowhere to be seen. She is gone. She has met up with the guy that she is dating, and they are in La La Land, and I don't find her for like hours. So I tell the guy, I'm like, look, my stuff's locked in the car and I can't get in. He's like, I'll get you in. So he, as the gentleman he is, gets me in to the Boiler Room. And playing at the Boiler Room that night, did you know they had concerts there? They did. Playing at the Boiler Room that night was the band Mini Kiss. I don't know if you've ever seen Mini Kiss.
I tried to see Mini Kiss. My friend tried to bribe a doorman at the Viper Room to get us into Mini Kiss.
Yeah. Mini Kiss has a standing show at the Rio in Vegas, and so that's where the Comedy Sellers Club is. So have I seen Mini Kiss?
You have.
But I've been performing alongside them for about 2 years.
So then we're watching Mini Kiss, and this guy, I think I failed to mention the fact that he was only like 5'2". And we're watching Mini Kiss.
Mini Kiss, for the listeners that don't know it, is all little people dressed like
Kiss music.
Yes.
But
the guy you're going with is 5'2".
Yeah.
So this might have been a power move on his part. Look at me next to these guys, huh?
Yeah.
So bad.
I can kick little Gene Simmons' ass.
So Mini Kiss is playing, and I'm trying to decide like if I like them or if I feel bad, because they're not actually playing. They're pretending that they're playing. So then it's like
biggest disappointment I had when I found out that Mini Kiss just lip syncs and plays like fake instruments. I'm like, oh, I thought they were playing little versions of real instruments and playing actual Kiss songs,
which I could get behind. But now you've become this. The spectacle is only that you're. And that makes me feel weird. So I said that. You're right.
We all danced around that one. It's not how bleeps work, but
so then I said that to him, that I was feeling uncomfortable about it, and he turns to me and got so mad at me because he starts yelling, "My profile said how tall I was," and I was like, "I'm not talking about you," and he's like, "It said I was only 5'2". If you didn't want to date a short guy, you should never have come out with me. And he's like rage yelling at me, so I just left and walked home from the Boiler Room, which is a long way away from where I lived, and that was not a great date.
Wow.
And I never found Trish the dish.
So this guy you didn't have sex with, but the mushroom head you were fine with.
Yeah, I was fine with that guy. Yeah.
I feel like Charlene's really leading the charge on this episode, man.
Yeah, no shit. Thank God.
I'm glad I got nothing to offer in the world of online dating. But we should now go to the good and the bad, which I think we just did a pretty good job of listing what that could be. But we'll be right back with positives and negatives.
Yay! Looking for calorie-conscious options this summer? Try delicious dietitian-approved calorie-smart meals with around or less than 550 calories per serving. One of the things I really love about Factor is I can tailor it to my diet. So, and temptation's big for me. So if I don't need to be eating a bunch of carbs, I'll just order something that's like, no, there's no carbs in it. And they'll send it right to my door. I'll have 5 or 6 of them in a week. And it's kind of like when my folks got divorced, but it's not Hungry Man dinners that my dad was feeding us in a motel. It's much better and healthier. So,
I'll take it from here, Shane. With Factor, you can rest assured that you're making a sustainable choice. We offset 100% of our delivery emissions, source 100% renewable electricity for our production sites and up. They're hippies, so that's nice too. You're eating good food, it's good for you, and a company's nice for the world. Get out of town. What more can you ask for? Head to factormeals.com/NAFT50 and use code NAFT50 to get 50% off of this already righteous company. Tastes good, is good for you, good for the environment. That's code NAFT50 at factormeals.com/NAFT50 to get 50% off. All right. Well,
Charlie, that's a wild pair of stories.
That's not. I mean, I've got like 1,000 more probably.
I just like that you were disappointed at the same thing about Mini Kiss too. When my friend paid like the door guy, was this mid 2000s? May I ask?
Probably, yeah. 2005, 2006, something like that.
Yes, that's when Mini Kiss was the rage. They were playing Viper Room. I was with my buddy, who just loves a hustle.
Yeah.
So there's this big line. He's like, I'm gonna go talk to the door guy.
Yeah.
And he like gave him 60
This is a Chicago friend.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's the most Chicago thing for a guy to be like, I got an idea.
I'm going to talk to this guy. I'm like, it's not going to work. And then he tried to bribe him. The door guy didn't. And then I was like, well, that sucks. And we were really disappointed to miss it. And we heard somebody saying like, yeah, they're not even playing instruments. I'm like, they're not playing instruments. Fuck this show. Like,
yes.
That's what I was like. How dare you? Like I was like finding out like your favorite artist lip sync. Like, of course they're not playing instruments. They got the little hands. They can't play the instruments.
No.
How
did you meet this fella on like
how do you think they set up the mic stand? Like,
you just take out the top pole.
Yeah. Yeah, I just need half of it.
That's so funny.
Oh,
Oh man.
anyway.
Okay, let's jump right in.
Okay.
I mean, it's a good story for us. It's a bad story for you, Charlene, but it's great for us.
Yeah. Well, listeners will stay in on this.
I don't. Yeah. Okay. So for the dating, I can see. I will first off say it does seem like a very positive thing in a world that's like it's crazy. And if you like some people, the only way to meet somebody is after you have a few drinks, and then your judgment's skewed, and so you're meeting somebody when you're drunk, and then if you're drunk at a bar and getting it off with somebody, you don't know what's going to happen later. I don't know. I think it's good that you could sit there and kind of get some of the bullshit out of the way first.
Audit what's happening before you go out. Yeah, I agree. So there's like, it can be a bit safer. It can be a bit, like we're doing the good right now, but there's advantages to it.
Yeah,
like you're like, well, like you've had enough time to talk to see if you really like this person, or you're just bored and you don't want to be alone one night.
Yeah.
Like, so I think that's like, I guess like you being able to like, forecast a little bit of how the date might go ahead of time, as opposed to just trying to meet someone out, is that there's a value in that. And I can go with it. And I have some of the unexpected benefits of online dating brought to us here by Charlene. Okay.
It's easier to text somebody that you have herpes than telling them to their face.
True.
I mean, I guess, I don't know if these are actually good, but they're just facts. Couples who met on dating apps were as satisfied in the relationship as any other couple. I mean, okay, well, that's not necessarily positive. That's just like, yeah, we're together, it's fine. Too poor to get divorced. Dating apps were more likely to connect couples with different educational and geographical backgrounds. I guess that, yeah, and I guess it, like, since it also widens the clearly widens the field a bit for you, because we all, we meet people in the world that we do things in and where our social lives are. So I guess that's it can open you up to some other people. But
have you ever gone on dates where you like, as soon as you met up, it's just like, oh yeah, not at all. 100%. And it's amicable. It's like, oh, this isn't going to happen, right? And they're like, no, like, okay, hey, have a great day. Has it ever been like a purely
sure.
Yeah,
kind
100%.
exchange? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's basically how it goes. You're just like, are we doing this? And then they're like, I don't. And you're like, yeah, me neither. Okay, bye. I'm just going to pay for my drink and go. Yeah.
Yeah, all right, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good seeing you around.
Yeah.
I do have a good friend who's like been in a long online relationship, like started online, but they They matched. Then she ghosted him, and then years later they like matched again on something else, and he was like, "Oh, hey," and she goes, "Hi." And he goes, "You don't remember me, do you?" And she goes, "No," and he goes, "Well, we were talking on such and such app a while back." And then she was like, "Oh my god, so embarrassing." Blah blah. And now they've been together for like 9 years. They bought a house together, and
Whoa.
It was meant to be. That's
yeah,
sweet.
yeah. So they did all right. Uh,
I mean, I
online
did
dating,
really like OkCupid when it first came out because it asked a bunch of questions. And so the matching seemed more real in some way because you answered all of these questions on the way you thought about like anything, like books or politics or like anything under the sun. And then it used your answers to match you up. So, I mean, I guess that goes against meeting people outside of your, but you don't want to end up dating a MAGA dude, you know?
yeah.
So it does help screen those people out and whittle it down. I did once end up dating a guy that made drums from scratch, like, which was really awesome. And like, I never would have come across that guy in real life.
Yeah.
But it was
what
pretty
happened
cool.
there?
Oh, Coco got involved and then self-destructed everything.
Do you want to explain who Coco is?
Coco is Charlene's drunk alter ego, and she's trouble.
We've all met Coco.
I'll say this. I always liked her.
She's a lot of fun.
I never dated her, but she's a good time to hang out with.
Nobody should date Coco. She's
first time I met Coco, I did not understand what was happening because we went out and met Charlene. All of a sudden, she's like, "Coco's thirsty." I'm like, "What? Did you bring a chimp into the bar? Who's fucking Coco?" The sign language gorilla. All of a sudden,
yeah. I don't know why she talks in third person. It's weird.
Oh,
she's like Ricky Henderson. I got this though. This is something that's actually very good. Younger adults, as well as those who identify as lesbian, gay, or bisexual, or queer, are especially likely to use online dating sites or apps. So it's probably a little more safe for people who have been targets of hate. Yeah, and like it makes connections easier. And I can also see it making a lot more sense. Like if you're like a little queer kid in some like shitty little
rural
town,
America,
yeah, like you're like. It might be a little more safe and valuable to understand there's some connection out there for it. So I think that's like probably a really good thing. Yeah. It's real hard for me, the straight white male out here dating. Like
it does seem like it's more streamlined. It does, just pure outsider's perspective as a straight dude. The queer community does seem very streamlined of like, oh, we're already like, given what society is, you're already like being labeled as gay. It's like, well, you're gay, I'm gay, so we already got a lot of the bullshit out of the way. Then we can find out. That's some heteronormative, like we got to dance around the roles of the genders. Like, oh, I'm chivalrous. Do I buy your drink? Do you buy my drink? And there's two dudes like, hey, beer, fuck, all right. Like at least that seems like. I've been. Two of the best moves ever being hit on were from dudes.
On you?
Yeah. And granted, I was on their turf. I was in a gay bar, but like one guy I was wearing a vest with a shirt underneath. I wouldn't want that kind, but all he did, he just slapped the vest open to look me up and down and just went, "My name's Dave." I was like, all right. Like, fucking, that is gusto. Yeah, and another dude, I felt bad. I was at Akbar at the show they had at Akbar there, and some guy, I think he was like new gay, because you could tell he's like, I'm gonna try my boldest line, but he said it with like he was timid. When he's like, "What do you say? We make everybody jealous in here, and we start making out." I'm like, "Oh, that's sweet," and I'm not a gay, but thank you. Because he said it so unsure of himself for such a bold line.
Yeah.
But it was like, well, we're already in the gay bar, so shoot your shot, You already got that one thing out of the way.
He is a large, strong man who is not physically intimidated by many people. I had this happen. There was a gay bar on like downtown at I think it was like Morrison, kind of near. Does Morrison go near Powell's in downtown Portland? I can't remember. Does it cross over near? Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a gay bar that was over there. I went to see WrestleMania at a gay bar. It was the only place that was showing it. And by the way, truly one of the funnest experiences I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
Man, they were killed. But like,
I think I know the bar. Is it Scandals?
It's Scandals. 100% is Scandals.
I've been to Scandals.
It's so fun.
Yeah, it's a blast. But this guy smaller than me and kind of small in general just came up to me and he goes, "What's up, Buttercup?"
Oh, that's cute.
And I was like, I don't like how I feel, like everything's topsy-turvy here. I felt like it was very forward and it was sweet, but I was also just
courted.
Yeah, I say it. It's a real fucking freak show.
Oh, Dave Stone has the best observation of that when it was at the Laughing Skull in Atlanta. It was right across from a bar called Bulldogs. Not for the Georgia college team Bulldogs. It's just it's like muscle gaze. And so anytime a tourist was like, "Oh, where's a good place to watch the game?" all the comics would be like, "Oh, Bulldogs right there." Would always point to them. But Dave said he was waiting to pick somebody up and he was in his car in front and a fella just came up to his window and said, "Want me to stretch it out for you?"
Wow. Oh my god.
And he's like, I don't even know what he's going to stretch out. Is he stretching me out? Is he stretching himself out?
Oh my gosh.
Whew. That is yeah. I will say online dating, you do meet people who have a different interest than you, but I don't know how hard you're supposed to like come out of the gate swinging. Like in the sense of like, oh, well, I'm really into
for the online dating, you mean? For like what you should tell people?
Yeah, well, like let's say Kyle, like I'm like, oh, I love baseball. And this woman's like, I love baseball. Then I'm like, all right, then we're going to go to a crazy minor league baseball game on Coney Island, and have this date.
That would be fun.
It's Seinfeld night. Yeah, but I don't know like how much, like how
that's
much
second date.
Yeah, like how much effort are you supposed to put into something?
Right.
Because that is there's some elaborate ness involved in that.
Well, all right, let's stray from like we can go the goods or the bad. Let's talk about the ethics of what what would be welcome or unwelcome in the online dating. So if you've already agreed to meet up, this is just obviously no experience. You've already agreed to meet up through the application process.
That's why they're called that. See Kyle's face right now. Just go, he harumphed me.
What do you get? Like a coffee. I always think of Nick Kroll's bit, like a coffee date. Oh yeah, making a first impression. I'd love to be all sweaty and have diarrhea. Jittery and full of diarrhea. What a great way to meet somebody for the first time.
I always like, I think it's all, you don't do dinner. It's like, I guess the rule because it could be
daytime. Yeah.
Yeah. Or it's like you go have a drink. I don't know. Like depending on what they are, but like 2 hours is like the maximum amount of time I would plan on allotting, unless it's going very well, right?
Or very poorly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and even then, you kind of know at the end of the first one if it's going to go like, all right, well, I'm going to get out of here.
See you never.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay. I will say that's why this seems to the online dating. You could Lucid. It's for sober people. That's got to be tough being sober, trying to meet somebody in a big city. Mm-hmm. And everybody wants to go get a drink.
You know what?
You want to be a freak in a sack. There's your Field app. You want to do a lot of butt stuff with like several people at the same time. You got an app for that. S'more.
What is that?
This is where you
please tell me it's about treats. Hey, you want an app for treats?
Charlene, to go back to you referring to porn as the fat one and the hustler. It just makes me think it's like somebody was writing that movie and then Smokey and the Bandit came out and they were like, well, God damn it. Go see the new Burt Reynolds for
You're
the
really
fat
like-
one in the Hustler.
You're really
Like
like off
smoking
the
the
PC train on this episode, Charlie.
Oh no.
Well, this one, s'more is like you get to learn about them before you see their picture. So basically, it's like the game shows right now. Vegly, that's for dating vegans. All you have to do, you just gotta pass out at a Sprouts. You can date a
Because
vegan.
only vegans can stand to be around other vegans.
Well, that's fair.
It sounds like it.
Well, like here's the thing: if you're in Portland and you're on Vegly,
Yeah.
you're probably gonna have seen the person you match with at a vegan restaurant.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be like it's a pretty niche. Like, oh, I just matched with my coworker who I don't like.
You can go have the fartiest one night stand. You can.
Your fucking hemp bed sheets.
I mean, some of these, like, okay, team up. All right, there's fitness ones. These are good things, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
okay, we
I
like
guess,
to
like,
do the same thing.
those things
Bristlr,
are no
Shane,
different than,
Bristlr.
like-
It's for just dudes with beards. You gotta, Shane. You gotta sign up for Bristlr.
You want to sign me up
Yeah.
for Bristlr now and create an account?
This nifty dating app connects the ladies who love a beard with guys that have one.
I have a fun idea,
Yep.
Kyle.
What?
Download Bristlr, and we're gonna build my app right now. My profile.
I can't
right
have
now.
that. I can't have that. Rachel,
that's-
download a dating app.
That's a good point. Charlene, you
I
do
hear-
it.
I hear from the other room. What?
Charlene, you do it.
I'm going to manage your Bristlr app from Los Angeles.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's see how this goes.
Oh my gosh.
Stir. Stir is a dating app for single
Stir.
parents.
Ugh.
Tap Dat. That is just for
It's just for people who have
fucking.
OCD issues.
Yeah. Dig is for dog lovers. They got everything. Silver singles for 50 and over. Dine, it's for food. BBW admire. That's
The pitch of your voice changed from every app.
Okay, the
Right.
first question is, do
Christian
you have a
mingle.
beard?
Yes, it's not
Okay.
great, but it's.
Connecting.
Trek Passions.
Tell
is
him
for
it's not
Trekkies.
long. Tell him it's not long, but it's thick on the beard.
Shane, we need to sign you up. There's one called Uniform Dating, and it's for men in uniform. And we got to get you like a 31 flavors shirt or
Little
something. And be
sailor
like,
outfit.
no, just see if you can borrow like a hat from Wendy's or something.
I guess at least it's specified. You know, like, I mean, like, I guess one of the positives is that you can find some. If you're like a very big dog person, it's
Mhm.
there. You know, like if your dog is a big, I guess it's, and then the being active and being fit. Like it's no different than Christian Mingle or like a, you know, like any kind of
Right.
religious based one, really.
What about
So-
Raya? That's the one that celebrities are on.
I have
use-
that app, but I've never
Yeah.
like, you have to like be referred on it, and I never want to like ask one of my friends who's on it because then I'm like, I don't like people know my fucking business. You know, like
But don't you want to know everyone else's business? Because I would love
Yeah, you
to
got to
be
snoop.
on there.
You got to go on there to tell
Yeah.
us who else is on there.
What's on there? Yeah. Would you consider yourself cuddly or very cuddly?
Ooh, can I answer?
Yeah.
yes, Kyle, please.
Very cuddly.
Oh, thanks, man.
Well, it's talking about build: slim, average, athletic, muscular, cuddly, very cuddly.
I stand by what I said.
Okay. Okay. How to, are
Cuddly. I'm cuddly.
No, downgrade to cuddly. Downgrade to cuddly.
you okay?
You're
Are
very
you-
cuddly in my heart.
okay. Are you 6 foot?
No, I'm 5'10".
Okay.
That counts.
Wear
Wear your hair in a bun.
Okay.
Going.
Well, I have to put in a bunch of stuff I don't know. Give me a second. Talk amongst yourselves.
Okay. I am extra cuddly.
I thought they were just talking about like your disposition.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't
That's
know. That's
what a way to name a size.
there should be like a semi-muscular cuddly.
Yeah,
Should be that, yeah.
and instead of skinny, you're just called frail.
Yeah, go the other way with it. These goddamn beanpoles don't get any negatives. Stretched out freaks.
I don't really want to. I don't really want to put my email address in here.
Oh, fine. I guess I'll
we can
just
finish
be
up.
alone.
We'll finish up on this later, but I want to see what we.
Yeah, subscribe to our Patreon if you want to know what my dating profiles look like.
Well, then, but so a lot of these go the way of like, what does a woman want in a? Charlene, you should just make a profile on Bristlr for yourself. Like, are there women on there?
Yeah, of course.
No, I mean like women.
Well, yeah, because it asks, "Do you have a beard?" I assume when I say no, that they're kind of assuming I'm a woman looking.
But like, where's
dude.
that fetish? When does it go the other way?
Okay, I'll sign myself up
for the Eastern European ladies.
Mm-hmm.
I got on this Tinder nightmares kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
That you found this profile.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it's just
tell us what it is.
Just guys sending insane DMs.
Oh, well, okay. So that's part of this too, is like the sexual harassment aspect of this. Like, you think about how vile people are on social media because they're anonymous. I can't imagine opening yourself up
and then
to trying to date, and then having some scumbag just
fucking let you have it. Yeah, it's awful.
I mean, it works both ways, but obviously there are much more one way than the other way.
There are some hilarious ones of idiots, but like there are some just, what's a dark place like you doing in a girl like this? Wow, that's a good one. So does that mean you want to bump fuzzies? And then she just wrote back, I hope I never hear that sentence ever in my life again.
The idea of what this is like everything else where you see a bold gesture celebrated somewhere else in the world.
Yeah.
And so someone's like, well, I'm going to make a bold gesture. And it's a swing and a miss. Like this guy, I would break every chair in a 20-mile radius if it meant you'd have to sit on my face. I mean,
go on.
Comedy-wise, sure, like I get, but it's not gonna. Would that? Okay, Charlene, you said a sense of humor. When does the sense of humor with a comment that's about sex? Does it? If it's really funny, but it's still about sex, will it work?
It depends, I guess. Once I had a guy message me. I want to get you.
To Sucktown.
I want to get you naked and have you roll around on Captain Crunch with me, or some sort of cereal. I don't remember what the cereal was. And I was like, what a bizarre first line. And so I said, I'm really more of a Frosted Flakes girl, because I was setting him up to say that would be great, but he didn't take it. And so then I never messaged him again.
That was the issue that stopped you.
Yeah.
Well, but she was playing.
Well,
the game.
also I thought it was weird, but yeah, I was like, if you fix it after this one, then sure. But he just was like, okay. I'm like, no, dude.
Oh God.
I mean, 14-year-old me is laughing at a lot of these. Like, hey, you going to that barbecue this week? And then what barbecue would that be? It's like the barbecue where I put my meat on your grill.
Oh my God. I mean,
I'm laughing at it, but I'm not going to sleep with this dude.
Yeah.
I like this one. I am an incredibly strong man. I'm an incredibly independent woman that doesn't need your strength. Dude, earlier I lifted a desk with one freaking arm. Tell me a woman that could do that.
Oh my God.
I have two arms that can do that. You need a new opening line.
Honestly, that was my attitude on OkCupid. Like, I'm going to be as dumb as possible.
Yeah.
If they're down to clown, then we can be real people.
Yes.
But like, I'm just going to be really stupid.
Yeah.
That is my methodology for the most part on these apps when I'm on.
Yeah. If you don't see that I'm being silly up top,
right,
then there's no point in going forward.
For sure. Well,
why don't we go to some of our kitty cats who take a run at the litter?
We'll do that. We are gonna follow up with Bristlr, though. I insist that we follow up with Bristlr.
We'll do it for next. We'll have a little add-on for next week's episode.
Bristlr and then gristle for those meat lovers. It's the opposite of the veggie one.
What? That's not one, is it? No. I was like, okay. All right, we'll be right back. Okay, guys, and we're back. Now, let's get into it. We're opening up calls for the online dating world.
Here we go.
Yeah, I think using the term online dating or apps for dating is you're ordering people. You're not connecting. You're not.
Okay. Yeah. Can we pause?
I'm sorry.
I think this person is having a rough day. You're ordering
You're not
people.
Connecting. You're ordering.
It's not Wayfair. You're not getting a dresser full of children. It's not. You're ordering.
This lady seems
people.
stressed.
Yeah. All right. Let's see where they're going with it.
No, sir. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a great day.
Sorry, we'll have to edit this. There we go.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. No, sir. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a great day. Love the podcast.
Thank you.
Appreciate all the laughs. Love you guys. Oh, yeah, it's Moose.
I just hope things are going better for you.
Yeah.
I'm not to assume things are going bad, but you sound like you're in a rough place.
Long week. It's only Tuesday, but it's already been a long week.
I'm sorry they messed up your order.
That's why she's mad.
I asked for cuddly, not extra cuddly.
Okay, here's the next one.
Hey, Shane, Charlene, and Kyle. Just wanted to touch base. This is Spencer out in Massachusetts. Wanted to call it so you guys were looking for conversations about online dating. Back in the early 2010-ish area, I was super against it and hated it and despised everything about it. And the short reason behind thinking that it was a fucking stupid, dumb thing was I was married and we were renting in a townhouse, and my next door neighbor one day was drunk and said, "Oh, hey, I found your wife on Tinder." And I was like, "Isn't Tinder one of those online apps to get fucked on?" And he was like, "Yup." So I downloaded the app real quick, and within 4 or 5 swipes, I saw my wife on there, and the exact quote that I'll never forget says, "Not looking to just get fucked, looking for love as well." And at that point, I knew my marriage was over. So I really didn't like it for a very long time. But that being said, I heard there were other good apps that came out from the 2010
we pause real quick
area, wherever it was.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the app is what's
that's
here.
where my okay. Yeah, we're on the same page.
There's a lot of great apps out there that my wife is also on trying to get fucked, but they just the interface is a lot easier to use.
Yeah.
God damn, the neighbor. Not even trying to be anonymous, like, "Hey, I'm gonna put a letter in your mailbox." Like, "Hey, you know me from next door? Your wife's out there slanging it." Buddy, I am sorry. I'm glad you sound like you sound in a better place than that last lady that called.
Yeah, and that
Spencer.
Wow, we should have known this wouldn't be too uplifting.
Here we go.
Let's hear him finish it up. Yeah.
Was till about 2016, where I heard about Bumble and Hinge, which was supposed to be more of like a real dating site. So I downloaded both of them and found my now wife. So this is my second marriage. I found my wife on Hinge, and I think that platform helped create kind of like a more meaningful relationship and kind of made it seem more of like, hey, we weren't looking to just hook up, we were actually looking for something. So Shane, maybe try that. Hinge, pretty good one. Tinder, you ruined my life. So, cheers, guys. Appreciate y'all. Meow, meow.
Thanks, man.
That's just, your wife ruined your life. I don't think we could blame
Tinder.
Also, the boldness of the wife to be like, yeah, let me set the radius for just our housing, our subdivision.
Yeah. I don't want to fuck people whose windows I can see into from our kitchen. Like,
I want a shared wall. I want to make sure you can hear me.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm glad the story worked out better in the end there, but I don't think Tinder was the problem.
Yeah, I'm glad you're happy now, but I guess Hinge is really where you want to be.
Okay, now this one's really long, so let me know if you want to pause.
All right.
Hey, what's up, Kyle and Shane? I saw that y'all wanted to hear what we think about online dating.
Pause.
And,
Already, this guy's a creep. I don't know what's going on.
Why? Because it sounds like he's tickling himself.
Hey, what's up, Kyle and Shane? Ooh, look who's out ready to play.
Yeah, okay, here we go.
I thought I would share my experience. I know it can be brutal, and I think mostly it's kind of depends on what you want to get out of it, whether you want to get laid or married or whatever. But I had an interesting experience when I moved to the Portland area. I was using Tinder and Bumble and pretty much all of them. And I had never lived in a city that was full of so many weirdos or sort of like alternative, tattooed folk. And it seemed that dating apps in Portland were mostly used by sex workers trying to promote their content. And there was also a lot of non-monogamous, like circus clown type folk named Big Gulp or something trying to get you to join their.
So they just like pull up in a car and then like 9 of them get out.
Well, there was a huge circus community in Portland in the early 2000s, if you recall.
Yeah, I remember.
Non-monogamous.
Circus
clown type
community
folk.
of fuck.
What is
honk
this?
honk.
Southern Baptist on a bus revival tour judging a new town. He rolled a lot of non-monogamous circus clown type folk. Heathens and devil worshippers.
Just okay.
Join their polycule. So it wasn't necessarily my thing, but I have a background within a particular sort of Christian group that's quite small, and I matched with this little blonde like cottagecore lady that had a similar background. And
cottagecore?
Yeah, what is that? You know what that is, Charlene?
Yeah, it's just it's basically you dress like you're Snow White and you live in the cottage of the little people to stay on theme.
It's an aesthetic that celebrates simple living, particularly in the countryside. Okay, so it's like an Amish
like
lady
you're
with a
canning
phone.
And yeah.
It's an Amish woman with a cell phone.
Okay.
All right.
I hit her up and I offered to buy her a drink or some coffee, and she told me that she wanted to talk a little bit more and wait, and was hesitant about meeting strangers on the internet. And I didn't think much of it at the time because, meeting people online can be a little weird. But after a few days of talking, I saw that her Instagram was listed on her Tinder profile, and I scrolled through it a little bit, and I realized that it was flooded with some pretty dark shit. And when I say dark, I mean like pretty fucking dark, like hatred. There was a lot of these posts about white pride and like Identity Europa, which was like an American neo-Nazi group, and she was making like references to these like things like she called them like revolution through tradition, or I don't know. It was a bunch of like blatantly white nationalist, like white supremacist type shit, and she essentially wanted to be like a white trad wife, like living on a homestead and raising little blonde babies in a secluded part of the Northwest, which I just maybe I was so ignorant I didn't realize that these people would be in Portland, Oregon, of all places.
Dated her for 5 years.
After I, realized.
So we have
all of
three
this,
beautiful boys.
I Googled her Instagram handle and found out.
Well, that's where it's gonna pick up. Here we go.
Pick it up. Let's go. I'm curious. This
Sorry,
guy's
my
got
message
me.
is too fucking long. Anyways, I found out that she was doxxed by Antifa in the Pacific Northwest, and they had posted her phone number and like her workplace and her car and her license plate and all this shit all over the internet, along with her like calling people racist things and
darn, you're a Nazi. Shit happens.
So,
No shit.
anyways, that was one of my experiences with online dating. I'm glad I did a little bit more digging about her and never met up with her in person, but it was a little frightening to realize that I was flirting with a white nationalist on Tinder for about 4 days. So, I don't know, maybe I am a fucking idiot. I have no idea, but I don't use Tinder or any of those apps anymore, so hope you all stay safe. Stay away from racists on the fucking internet. Have a good night. Bye.
She's a racist in the streets and also in the sheets. The Stormfront has to have a singles app, right? Like, there's got to be white power. I'll go ahead and ruin my Google search history. White power dating app.
Oh my goodness.
Racist dating site. There we go. First, there are there's a bunch. There's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that profile. Let's stick to Bristlr or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
I got to cover
Yeah.
it. Oh,
And we just got a voicemail just now. That looks like it might be good. So we've got one more.
Okay.
Where whitepeoplemeet.com.
Oh my God.
It's called New Seasons.
Oh boy.
I was going to say J. Crew. Yeah.
Yeah. It could be so many places.
Okay. Well, let's hear this. Are there any other? Are there horrible names? Or are they just like? Are they kind of vague, Kinane? Are they kind of?
I can't find the actual name. These are all articles talking about the ones that exist. So it's Where White People Meet is the big one. Exploring what's this? Okay, let's see what exploring queer white men's views on race and racism. I can't be racist. I'm gay. That's the quote in the headline there. That's I don't know. I'm not going to read the article.
Oh boy.
They're out there. It's these things have paywalls and stuff.
Okay, well, yeah, fuck them. I'm not.
BeNaughty.com.
That's one.
That was no. I probably just poisoned my computer. Is what happened.
Okay, here's the last.
Hey, Kyle, heard you're a like-minded thinker.
Yeah, well, guys, I gotta move. I'm being doxxed. I'm gonna be doxxed.
Here's the last voicemail.
Hey, Shane. Hey, Kinane. Online dating. I met my wife on OkCupid in like 2012, and that was really, really weird back then. We had to lie like our grandmas and say we just like met at a thing or park or some bullshit because it wasn't normal back then. And now it's 1,000% normal. But back then, like my big city friends were all using it, but we were, from South Bend, Indiana, which is this small and sucky. We met on there, and she told me I stood out on my profile and in my messages because I wasn't immediately asking for titty pics and to have sex. Not to brag, but little did she know I had 3 side pieces at the time, and I dumped them all for her. Go me. But from every woman
You're a good guy. You're a real good guy.
Humble brag. Bye.
I had 3 side pieces at the time.
3 side pieces in South Bend means one of them's a cousin.
They're like on the Notre Dame football team.
3 side pieces in South Bend means you don't need an extra place sitting at Thanksgiving dinner for one of them.
Yeah, all right. I guess. Oh no, there's some good stuff here. I guess the thing I'm taking away from this is you can find like-minded people,
Yeah.
And sometimes horrible like-minded people will turn that into a horrible racist dating hive.
They're out there. I wish I was quicker to come up with better names for white power dating sites.
I mean, there's going to be a bunch.
It's like Torchbearer or something.
It would be Finding Mr.
You will not
Reich.
replace me.
Finding Mr. White, yeah.
No, Reich.
Oh, there you go. See, that's
Finding
the one.
Mr. Reich.
Oh.
Well, it just goes to show that there's something for everybody out there in the dating world. So if you're single, it's your fault.
Not everybody.
The internet wants you to find love. Shane, do you want to put the effort in?
I'll try.
That doesn't sound like you're gonna, Shane.
All right, let's.
I want to hear. Listen, we're getting you signed up
on Bristlr or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You got one of them kind of half beards, which is probably its own kink.
Yeah.
You know, like the dudes that like waifs or something. I think they're weird, but somebody's into it.
Yep.
You're beating me up here for no reason.
I'm saying there's gonna be a
into
gal.
Your strengths.
There's gonna be a gal. It's like I like
Shut
a
up,
wisp.
Charlie. You guys are both fucking assholes.
I like a wispy beard. I like a guy who looks like he just buttered his face and then fell on the floor of a barber shop.
You deserve to be bald. Okay. Well,
there's got to be a bald guy dating site. Bald guy dating site.
Oh, I'm sure.
100%.
Just Larry David's face.
100%.
There's a first thing. There's a dating app just for bald people now.
Yep.
It's just called Bald Dating. That's not really
not creative. Okay, Kyle. What's your favorite part? Tell them where they can find you.
Bald dating.
Oh.
Kyle Kinane on the internet.
Yep.
Everywhere. That's my handle on everything.
All right. It's Shane Torres on everything, shaneiscomedian.com. And I'll be in Fort Collins this comes out on Monday.
We don't know.
It can. I can dump it. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I'll be in Fort Collins, Colorado at the Comedy Fort this coming week, Friday and Saturday. 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday. And then I'll be in Montreal the next week with Kyle right there. We're going to get me on a French-Canadian dating website.
Oh. Is it called Ooh La La?
It's called he's got the Sacre Blues.
Sacre Woo.
Thanks to everybody who listened. Thanks to everybody who called in. Thank you to Charlene for producing this episode and knowing more about online dating than either of us. I'm sad.
Find Shane on Bristlr.
Bristle Blocker.